I'm like a bird, I wanna fly away. And that's about all I remember of that song, because that's all you guys remember of that song. Admit it. And welcome to StillerBros, the movie, in our brand new car!
It's my brand new car. Oh, fuck you.
Welcome back. It's been a long time coming, and this review is actually really late because
We were on vacation when this movie came out.
and then it was a long time coming to figure out exactly when we were going to see it. Birds of Prey.
Yes.
So way back in the before times in 2016.
Oh, what a simpler time it was.
Was it?
People weren't bitching about Star Wars. The world wasn't literally on fire.
So way back in the before times of 2016, DC and Warner Brothers put out a movie called Suicide Squad, and it was not critically well received, and the audiences did not receive it as well either. We gave it a somewhat positive review at the time, but we've rewatched it since then, and we've started to realize,
You
like,
can see the cracks in the facade.
yeah, you start to realize just how bad that movie actually is, but now we're getting a new one with James Gunn writing and directing, so that's gonna be great.
Yeah, that finishes shooting in a couple of weeks, so yay!
But one thing that most people could agree on, even the critics who gave that movie a thorough thrashing, was that Margot Robbie was pretty much the epitome of a live-action Harley Quinn.
So much so that they had to give her her own movie.
In fact, the Harley Quinn solo movie was greenlit pretty much the weekend of Suicide Squad.
And then it basically turned. And then Margot Robbie came in and was like, you know what? Let's bring some badass chicks in and make that solo Harley Quinn movie into a Birds of Prey movie.
Well, at first it was a Gotham City Sirens movie, but now now they went with Birds of Prey, probably because that's a more recognizable name, I guess. I don't know why they went with Birds of Prey, but
I think the Gotham City Sirens movie is still in development as well.
I don't know. The DC's production slates jumped around so much. I have no clue what's still in production and what's not.
Yeah, but like we said on Joker, DC seems to be focusing a lot on their supervillains this time around because Dwayne Johnson starts shooting Black Adam this summer. Again, the Suicide Squad is completing shooting in Panama right now.
Joker came out, which we were lukewarm on walking out of, but after all the months of the discourse just becoming so incredibly toxic and angry, and the fact that a lot of people overpraising it and over condemning it, it's just not a movie we ever want to see again.
Because it got worse and worse as people were bitching it, as people continued to turn it into something it wasn't.
It's not as bad or as good as either side is really saying it is, but the fact that it was nominated for 11 Oscars and only won 2 of them is kind of showing that those are the only things worth talking about, that those 2 were the 2 majorly transformative things of that movie that really proved that it was a movie that actually made people think that there was a movie worth taking seriously under this obvious take us seriously.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that anymore. We are coming because now we are back in the DCEU. Margot Robbie is returning as Harley Quinn.
And she has more control because she's a producer this time.
Yes, and we have a bunch of brand new characters some of whom have never been portrayed in live action in period.
We've got Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya, Journey Smollett, God damn it, Journey Smollett-Bell as Black Widow. Black Canary. Wrong universe.
Black Widow's later.
Black Widow's in like 2 months. He's gonna be in like 3 months.
Yes.
But Black Canary. We got Cassandra Cain, Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress. So many others, and Ewan McGregor as the villain Black Mask, who apparently is a raging narcissist and, in Ewan McGregor's own words, the perfect villain for the Trump era.
Yes. Now, it is also interesting that we have a somewhat newer director in
Kathy Yan.
Yes, Kathy Yan, one of 2 Asian American women who will be directing a big budget superhero movie this year, and one of 4 women who will be directing a superhero movie this year total.
Yeah.
Of all the superhero comic book movies that come out this year, only 2 will be directed by men.
And now, Joey, But now here we are with Birds of Prey, and Christina Hodgson, the writer of Bumblebee, is handling the screenplay.
Yes.
And so that's all the stuff we need to know. Oh, because we liked Bumblebee. Remember, Bumblebee was we boycotted the Transformers movies until Bumblebee. Not much of a boycott because it was only one movie, but still.
Yeah, and but we also get DC to finally. But DC finally seems to be finding its niche. This movie has gotten some pretty good reviews, and it has gotten done okay at the box office. It didn't perform as well as they wanted it to. It's gangbusters. Again, but this is mostly just speculation on our part because when the numbers came out, we did not have internet when the numbers came out. We were basically off the grid. We didn't even know who won the Oscars until the Wednesday afterwards. Yeah. But the movie's gotten some pretty solid reviews, except for one guy who just really, really hated it for some reason for like the San Francisco Chronicle or something. But despite the fact that we are 2 weeks late on this, Despite the fact that we're 2 weeks late on this now, we have been avoiding spoilers like the plague. We don't know anything about the plot of this movie, which is good because because this is a movie that's been playing very coy on what the plot actually is in the trailers. It doesn't actually mention anything that's major plot developments. We know there's something about a diamond heist, and of course Harley Quinn is going to be running around going like she is in most of the modern DC stuff, where she's basically like a female equivalent to Deadpool, only without certain things. Which, by the way, this movie is rated R, so it's connected to some parts of the DCEU. We're not sure what, but maybe there will be a scene sometime in Shazam 2 when they mention Harley Quinn's escapades, and it's like, oh right, our target audience couldn't see that movie, huh? Yeah, but we got but also we know two things. Two real things about the whole thing. Black Mask is the villain, and Harley and the Joker have broken up since Suicide Squad. We're just gonna ignore the fact that that's basically the plot to the Harley Quinn animated series that's airing right now. And that it also is pretty much can pretty much be assumed that it is just a way to get rid of Jared Leto, one of the most reviled things about Suicide Squad. Though, of course, could always be Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix is not the Joker. We'll see where things go with that. We don't know what like I said, the DC schedule is just so up in the air everywhere, so that we don't know what's going on with any of these movies. We know that the Batman is filming right now. Black Adam is filming in the summer. They confirmed that that Man of Steel 2 was happening, but that was like 3 years ago now. We know that an Aquaman 2 and a Shazam 2 are happening, and we know that... And Wonder Woman 84 comes out later this summer. Yes. So we know a couple things that are guaranteed to happen. But not a lot of them have release dates. Some of them have been in development for so long, like the Batman has been in development for so long that it's no longer even Ben Affleck playing Batman. It was in development for so long that this was Ben Affleck's movie from beginning to end, and now it's basically going to be a completely different movie because they got a completely different writer, a completely different director, and a completely different a completely different team of actors playing Batman and his regular characters. Ben Affleck's name might not even be on the movie, might not even get a story credit or an executive producer's credit or anything at this point. Yeah. Also, one of the directors of one of the superhero movies to come out this year is in the Batman. Yeah. So that's fun. But yeah, that's a lot. I think we've said enough. Yeah. So we're almost at the theater. We're going on a little longer than we usually do, but yeah, we will see you guys after the jump. Yep. All right. So, was that movie worth all the shit that man babies on the internet are giving it? No. It is fucking amazing. Yeah, so let's talk about this because it's fun. It's awesome. This is the movie that they wanted to make Suicide Squad. Yeah, it's colorful, it's crazy, and it has a much better scene evocative of the Joker's persona way more than
the show tune, then the send in the clown scene in Joker. Yeah, I said it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and but it is also so much fun. It is like Scorsese and Tarantino had a baby and made a superhero movie.
So let's talk about this. So I don't know what the idiots are saying when they're like, they're not sexy. They're ruining this movie because they're not sexy. First of all, that's not an actual criticism of the movie.
Second of all,
what women are you looking at?
Because those are some sexy ladies.
And on top of all that, they're well written, well acted, and acted.
Yeah,
we're not taking this argument in the exact opposite direction. Like, no, they're sexy, and therefore the movie is good. These are great characters, great great actors, great everything about them. It's just the fact that saying they're not. That's because in your personal opinion, they are not sexualized enough. Automatically means that the characters are bad, then therefore the movie is bad. Is just an idiotic thing. It's just an idiotic thing to say, and you deserve to get mocked on, to have your tweet relentlessly mocked on Twitter, no matter how much you say that, oh, the leftist SJWs are attacking me, which means I must be doing something right. Anyway, now that we're done with that, the movie is great. The performances are great. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is fantastic as this take no shit, angry all the time. I'm female boss who just takes out everyone with a crossbow as Huntress.
And Margot Robbie, she's Harley Quinn, like in every way.
We established this in a Suicide Squad. She is pretty much the epitome of a live-action Harley Quinn right now.
She is smart. She is take charge. She is sexy. She is funny. She is everything that you would need out of a Harley Quinn.
And like I said, at some point, she's basically DC's answer to Deadpool in the way that she just kind of falls into it.
We also have a lot of other amazing cast members. Rosie Perez as
Renee Montoya, and Journey Smollett-Bell as Black Canary, playing fantastically. I feel like they gave a lot more of the movie to Black Canary and Renee Montoya than they did to than they did to characters like Huntress and Cassandra Cain, which Cassandra Cain is fine in this. It's just that she's kind of not given a lot to do in it other than be the MacGuffin.
Yeah. And then Ewan McGregor is having the time of his goddamn life.
And you can tell in some scenes I feel like he's playing around. It's the kind of role where you wonder where in some scenes you kind of wonder how could the director have just yelled cut and he'd be like, so who wants lunch? Because he gets it so deep. He's like borderline Nick Cage on this.
Yeah.
The editing is fantastic, just simply by the fact that there are, well, actually, hats off to the directing by Kathy Ann, because there's points where I would watch a scene and I'd be like, was that just a single shot?
Yeah, there's a lot of creative camera movement. A lot of the stuff is one take movement. The action is so energetic and huge. I
mean, in Renee Montoya's opening introductory scene, there's this. It's kind of a more creative way to do the CSI thing, where the character walks through the crime scene, but the crime is happening right in front of her, and I think it's done in a way that makes it look like it's one take. So hats off to the editors and the people and everyone involved in the conception of that idea, because that worked perfectly.
Yeah, the action is the movie itself feels very small, a lot smaller than a lot of other DC movies, which if Suicide Squad had not done a end of the world level threat, it probably would have, like, this is a very small self-contained movie. It does not have an end of the world level threat. It is very just get something and go somewhere, get something, stop this one guy from because he's bad.
And it works, because that's what Suicide Squad should have been. I've said this pretty much ever since Suicide Squad came out. Suicide Squad should have focused on a much smaller threat, because in the DC universe there is no shortage of gangsters and thugs and people that they could have used and still made some kind of superpowered thing out of it. And if you didn't like that, make someone up.
Yeah.
No one's gonna harp on you making up a villain for a Suicide Squad on a big drug cartel villain or something. Just make it Expendables in the DCEU.
Yeah, and we got that, and we're probably going to get that with... And here's hoping James Gunn does that. I mean, I'm not saying James Gunn's going to make a crappy movie, because it's James Gunn. I'm going to see the movie no matter what. I'm going to see and love this movie no matter what.
But Birds of Prey, on one hand, another thing it's got on Suicide Squad, and I promise I'm going to try not to compare it to Suicide Squad every single time, at every single turn, even though it's basically a better version of Suicide Squad in every single way, is that, but the thing it does better is that it whittles its cast down to a more manageable number. Suicide Squad had this huge, sprawling cast that I don't think David Ayer was really capable of giving equal enough time to where you could like where you could like every single character.
To be fair, David Ayer did not have a lot of time to develop the movie, so to develop the original Suicide Squad. So if he did, he probably would have whittled the cast down to maybe like 4 or 5 characters.
Then again, James Gunn's Suicide Squad is going to have even more characters, so he needs to. So obviously there's going to be a bit more. There's going to be a bit of stuff there that we probably are going to. So we're probably going to be eating our words, saying that the whittled down cast here is better than the original Suicide Squad, but then the Suicide Squad, but. Whatever. James Gunn has more time to prep his script than David Ayer ever did.
Yeah, because he had like 6 weeks to prep his script. But
that's the thing. There's only 5 central characters. There's only 5 main hero characters in this movie. So the cast is significantly smaller, and so they can give equal time to certain members of the team that it's necessary for.
And we did. One thing though is that we didn't get into a lot of the chemistry with the team. We just kind of very
at a certain point they're just a bunch of separate stories that at a certain point all just converge in one place, and they're like, well, I guess we might as well just team up and start kicking ass together. And when it does, it's amazing. It's basically a gritty gang war action movie set in the leftover sets from whatever the hell Tim Burton is going on in Tim Burton's head right now.
Yeah, but when we get to the second half of the movie, the pacing starts to go. They start to move the pacing up really quickly.
But the movie feels shorter than it is. And actually at points it feels like it reaches a natural edge point and then just keeps going.
Yeah,
it's weird. The pacing's a little weird.
We spend a lot. The beginning we are doing like with the original Suicide Squad. This is the last time I swear. We are still getting a lot of setup when we're like a half hour in.
And also, the music is amazing. Daniel Pemberton's score, when it's actually used, is great. I say when it's actually used because there's a lot of needle drop moments of it from songs from the original soundtrack album, but also the classic songs that you can't do a girl power movie with doing like This Is a Man's World, which is a cover done by Journey Smollett-Bell, who just knocks it out of the park. Please don't do what your brother did.
Yeah. We also, but the needle drop moments work. They're not like one right after the other for like an hour and a half, and then they just kind of stop doing them. It kind of takes a page from the Captain Marvel playbook of let's play the ultimate girl power anthem right over the top of this incredible scene of girls kicking ass. Because they play Heart's Barracuda over the scene where all the birds of prey are in one scene fighting. Yeah. But ultimately, it is a great girl power movie. It's a great
movie overall because it's fun. Because on top of everything else, it remembers to be fun.
Yeah, but on the girl power thing, to everyone who says it's all about girls rule, boys drool, here's the thing, you could switch out the main cast for men, and the movie would pretty much be almost exactly the same.
Hell, the only place where it really where there really is any kind of focus on a girl power on a girls rule, boys drools thing is kind of in Renee Montoya's storyline, but even then you can kind of even then you can move, if you move enough elements around in that, it still
sexism doesn't really play a part in that.
It doesn't play as big a part in it as it could if they just kind of move certain elements around.
Yeah.
But it's a fun movie overall. Overall I liked it. It's really good. It's a really good movie. I really think that it epitomizes the kinetic energy of the character of Harley Quinn more than Joker did for its source material.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop crapping on Joker. I gotta make up for the lost time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's Birds of Prey. If you haven't gone to see it, go see it. It's been 2 weeks and I feel like we really should. I feel like people really should have flocked to this. But yeah.
No pun intended.
I didn't even realize that. Anyway, so that's it, guys. So be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to tune in next time when we are going to go a little onward. Bye.
Bye.